I spent a year in the minor leagues, and then I went up to the major leagues. My first game was in Boston at Fenway Park, and played 4 years there. Went to Seattle, played a year in Seattle, and then I played my last 2 years with Minnesota. Probably my favorite part was obviously the just reaching that goal that you set as a young boy. You know, I mean, at probably age 6 or 7, I was telling my parents, you know, I want to play in the major leagues. And then to finally get there, you know, when so few people get there, is something that you just feel satisfied with what you've done.
In 1999, Brent Gates decided not to return to his Major League Baseball career. Instead, he chose to leave the fame and glory of the game to return to his hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, to spend time with his wife Tiffany and 3 children. He started a business called Frozen Ropes that helps local baseball players improve their skill and fundamentals of the game.
This made perfect sense. You know, we get to teach 8-year-olds on through college kids sort of what I've learned and what I've done. And there's nothing greater than seeing a kid come in that doesn't know how to hold a bat, and after 5 or 10 lessons, you know, they're smiling because they're having fun and they're improving. So, and our goal is, again, to take these high school kids and get them recognized and get them college scholarships and hopefully go on and play in the major leagues. We'd like to definitely get at least 3, maybe 4. And I have the exclusive rights to Michigan for this. So, we're talking about maybe out in Muskegon, maybe Lansing. There's some other locations, but we're definitely going to have more than one. Anyone can come in and do it, and you don't have to be on a team. Again, it's all one-on-one individual training. So one of the instructors or myself will take the student and work with them for that half hour.
I would say part of the management staff here at Frozen Ropes. I do a little bit of everything. A lot of the lessons, do a lot of the business stuff. I set up the appointments. And I've been down here since the April 1st, which is when Frozen Ropes opened. When I had heard about the Frozen Ropes opening, I just figured I'd get in touch with them and not really expecting anything, just to kind of find out what was going on, and ended up in the position that I'm in. I feel the reason that he decided to leave pro ball was the fact that he's so dedicated to his wife and his kids. He's he has a strong family upbringing, goes back to his parents and his mother, and they have a very tight-knit family with his 2 sisters. So I think he kind of feels the same way with his family. He wants to spend more time with his kids. They're at 5, 3, and 6 months to a year old now, and I think he thought that was a little bit more important.
I feel like I could still play, but again, I sort of wanted to go out with those terms, knowing I can still play at that level. The main reason I retired was my family. It's basically you're on the road for 8, 9 months, and now having a 5-year-old daughter, I couldn't coach that t-ball. I couldn't coach soccer, the things I can do with her now. Or, I want to see them grow up. And I knew too many guys that had 16-year-old daughters that didn't know them. And that was the main thing, is they're getting older now, and I want to watch them grow.
At that level, sometimes it becomes more of a job than it is a game. And once it becomes that, and I don't know if that had I think that may had a little bit to do with it, because since we've been in business here, he really hasn't jumped in the cage. He really hasn't expressed a desire to play anymore.
You talk about someone at a job, they have a bad day. If they had 150 people waiting outside at their car, having to sign every one of their autographs, I don't think they'd be happy. And I doubt they'd sign everyone's autograph. So again, and we know too, if we mess up in a game, it's going to be on Sports Center. It's going to be on the news. Every time you mess up, it's more so on the news really than when you do a good job. If you get a runner over, put a bunt down, it's how you screw up. But you deal with that. That's why you get paid money. It's a job. But yeah, there's times you lose a game, you make an error, you strike out with the bases loaded, and you got your 3 kids waiting for you in the family room. And you're walking out, and there's people signing, or some guys yelling at you about striking out and things. And it's like you want to get away. Right now, I've been offered the manager's job of the Whitecaps. So, and I'm going through the process of if I want to do that or not. And by the time this is shown, I probably will be the manager of the Whitecaps.
Taking this Whitecaps job, I think, was a good decision for him, not only personally but also for our business. Now, as far as the travel that you get in the level that he's at right now, the single A level, all the traveling you do by bus, and I think the longest road trip that they have in this league is what is it, maybe 400 miles. But you got to also remember that there are 3 teams from Michigan. So as far as the family stuff goes, and again, I think that, I don't know, their longest road trip I think is maybe a week, 4 days, maybe not. I mean a week, something like that. Maybe a little long. I'm not sure. We have the schedule over there, so I have to take a look at that. But again, they're shorter trips. If the family wants to come along, you know, it's easier for them to be able to, you know, jump in their car and go to these towns that aren't so far away.
I always say my wife is basically a single mom when I'm playing, because even when we are home for a homestand, you know, you're thinking about what you did that game, you know, who you're facing tomorrow. So you're playing with the kids or you're talking, but your mind's somewhere else a lot of the times. And it's again, like you said, you know, you're in a city, you don't even know what city you're in. We have 12-day road trips. We're in 4 different cities. You know, we might be in California one day and Florida the next and New York, and you wake up and you sort of got to, where are we? You know, but you always know what time the game is. It's either a day game or a night game, you know, so, but your days they all run together. Just you're facing another team. I feel 7 years in the major leagues, you know, just again, to get one day I would have been happy. You know, I mean, I know the odds of making it to the major leagues, you know, and to come out of Granville and to play 7 years, I'm happy. You know, the people I've met, the things I've done, play in front of 65,000 people, play in playoffs, you know, I'll never have a bad thing to say about it. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, and now coming into to business, you know, situations and doing the things I'm doing now, all that stuff helps. You know, I've failed, and I'll be the first to admit it. I've failed probably more than a lot of people in a job, but that's how you learn. I think a lot of times you learn by failing. If everything was easy, you know, I don't think you're going to learn as much.